Well, the great thing about Ken Holland is that this offseason, he's going to have, I think the Oilers are going to be a really good team next year because on each of their forward groups and each of their defensive group, half the salary isn't coming back. Like they have 24, they have 24 locked up in the defense, 12 million comes back next year. It's like 50 million in the forwards, 25 comes back next season. Like he is going to have so much freedom this offseason to build a great team against McDavid and Draisaitl because this team that they have right now isn't it.
No. My frustration here is like, first off, the amount of Oilers fans in my DMs when I woke up this morning going, I know you guys are going to rip the Oilers, but remember, they got $22 million in cap space this offseason. So you've already given up.
Yeah, they played
McDavid has a top 10 season all time in the NHL. And you guys are already talking about next season. Are you kidding me?
They could win 8-1 tonight. They could.
You should probably give up when it's 3-0.
Well, we'll see.
Like, do you want them to have some faith in this?
Like, this is the best season since Mario Lemieux, and we're going, you know what? And I love Berkshire's take on it too. He's like, yeah, we'll just sign Chiasson. It'll be great. They tried to get Markstrom this offseason. That means that they were willing to go 6/6. Markstrom chose Calgary, his loss. But if Edmonton if he chooses Edmonton, my question is, where's that $6 million going? Meaning, like, Edmonton would have had to find a way out of the cap situation they're in. So if you could have signed Markstrom, why didn't you go get someone else? Why is your backup? Again, I know Koskinen is that deal. And I know Mike Smith's been good for them. But there has always been a question about goaltending with this team all season long, no matter what you tell me. You cannot tell me that you're relying and riding on a 39-year-old goaltender who has a history of being one of the streakiest goalies of all time, unbeatable, and then cannot stop a beach ball. You know that with Mike Smith.
He's got two modes. Yeah, he's really got two modes.
This is his history. And I just, to put the whole game at his feet's unfair, but they needed a save last night. They needed a save last night, and Mike Smith couldn't give it to them. They handed Mike Smith the win, and he lost it. And I put it squarely on him and the Oilers team defense, and also a great shot from Ehlers. And I do want to shift the conversation just a little bit, boys, because what I watched both TSN and Sportsnet this morning talking about this game, and the only thing anybody talked about was at the Edmonton perspective. No one said, hey, look at these fucking Jets, man.
How about these goddamn Jets? And they're winning games. I'm so impressed with them. I'm so impressed with them because I was looking at the way that they won, and I'm like, you know what? Was I wrong about the Jets or was I wrong? And then I'm like, you know what? They're winning games the exact way I described they would. They're winning games like the 2013 Leafs did. They got caved in last night. They did, but they got wicked finishers. They got killers out there, assassins. Mm-hmm. They don't need the puck for very long. Killers out there, and they got a great goalie. And the fact of the matter is they're not going to win a ton of games where they surrender 4, but they did.
Mm-hmm.
They did. How many periods out of 9? 10. Or did they have another overtime game?
Yeah.
There've been 2.
Yeah, game 2 was OT.
So 10 periods. How many periods out of the 10 did the Jets genuinely outplay the Oilers?
Yeah, did they? How many periods have they won?
It's less than half, I tell you that, and that might be being kind. But they're winning games the way they have all season. So maybe we just gotta do better with our analysis of Winnipeg Jets' flavor of hockey. Because it doesn't look good. It doesn't look pretty, but holy shit, they go out there and they win.
Have they not taken advantage of the Oilers' weaknesses?
Yes, and it's
strategically, you can see them doing it.
They win games the way they have to, and looking at our playoff predictions, I was talking about I looked at Nashville, and I go, okay, Carolina's going to beat them, but I gave credit to Nashville's playoff experience, and I looked around the league, and there were some teams that I just didn't favor, but they have some experience. This Jets team's got a big old bunch of playoff experience, good and bad. They've at least been through it. The Oilers, they had 4 games in the play-in last year, and then there's kind of this gap from 2017 where they looked poised to do something special, and they've never recaptured it. Never. I don't know. What a tortured if they were to lose tonight, what a tortured way to go into the offseason.
Mhm.
You looked so good.
Edmonton or Winnipeg?
The Oilers.
Okay, because you switched again. Because we
my
are
bad,
trying to
my
go
bad.
from the Jets.
I do that. I do that.
That's okay. That's okay.
But it would be a tortured way to go into the offseason because I'd be like, are the Jets, are they better than us, really? After that whole season that we went through, after we kicked their ass.
Mm-hmm.
What did McDavid have? 21 points in 9 games?
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
Yeah. And you can, even a team with Draisaitl and McDavid, get goalied. You can.
Absolutely. Well, and
which
they
is
had
why they need to
points
solve
each.
that problem. They need to solve that problem. But anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
I feel this is me feeling sick for Oilers fans, but Jesse Pollock has been one of my favorite follows throughout all this.
Oh, man.
Just losing his shit all Jets fans, they look like they're having a great time on Twitter, I gotta say.
Don't they always? They're always having a good time.
No. A lot of what I've seen this season is frustration with this team.
Right.
And I don't think very many fans expected anything. And so they're just loving the ride.
A lot of the Jets, it worries me because of how they played to end the season. Like their last month of the season was not great.
They were terrible.
They come and they get a matchup with the Oilers where it seems just like the way they play just leads into the Oilers' weaknesses. You know, it's this game, it's this run and gun game that the Oilers are trying to play, but the Jets can keep up with it and can keep scoring at whim because the Oilers can't stop anything. And it's not the right strategy for them to win. And the Jets have gotten so lucky. I don't know if it's luck, but this matchup is just so perfect for them that I don't know, is this the true Jets team or is it the team that we saw for 4 weeks to end the season? You know, so like I think whoever faces them next round, if it's Montreal, Toronto, it's probably going to be Toronto. But like I'm going to pick them as the favorites because like the one series versus a team that you match up perfectly against isn't going to change my opinion on your entire season.
I wouldn't think that they matched up perfectly though, because the Jets defense has been suspect for a while, right? It's been Connor.
Yeah, but they've got 2 years now where we've been like, this defense sucks though.
And it's Connor Hellebuck.
Yeah, that's the defense.
That's the defense. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Too. It's in there. And then when you're playing these 4 or 5 games or the 2-0 games, both of them, the Jets can keep up. Yeah. And it's just the Oilers, they just don't have it versus team. And yeah, so I don't know about the next round, but the Jets look great.
There have been 4 instances ever, by the way, of a team coming back from 3 games down. There was the 1942 Leafs. I believe it was the 1975 was it the Islanders over the Penguins. 2010, the Flyers came back against the Bruins. Next season, the Bruins came back and slaughtered them en route to the Stanley Cup. And 2014, I forgot about this. The Sharks were up 3-0 on the Kings.
Yes.
Kings come back, beat them, and win the Stanley Cup.
Yes. And
Joe
that was
Thornton
the
was
year I
on
think
that team.
San Jose should have won that year.
Oh, good God. Yes.
That was their year.
Yep.
I do want to say it would make one hell of a story if the Oilers come back here. What a great story that'd be. So I do hope they win tonight because I want some interest, you know?
Well, Jesse's going to get clipped something fierce if McDavid goes into God mode and they end up winning 4 straight.
Okay, there's also a really great screenshot making the rounds today on Twitter of Nick Ehlers and the Bud Light can that walks around in the arena, like I guess signaling each other after he scored to make it 2-1. I think.
I would love to know who it is inside the Bud Light can. Also, that was Ehlers' first game.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
What a group of. It's we talked about how the Jets looked horrible. But like it wasn't just they were playing bad hockey. They looked like they didn't like hockey, and they looked like they didn't like each other.
Yeah.
No, they didn't like hockey, they didn't like being a Jet, and they didn't like each other.
Yeah.
How do you not love every person around you right now if you're a member of the Winnipeg Jets? You got to be they're going to be out for blood. You got to think if they have any leadership in that room at all, they're going to be out for blood to end this in 4. I don't think there will be too many guys sitting fat and happy. Boy, I don't know how the Oilers come back from this. Maybe
Palmer's
they do, but
great head coach too. Yeah. He deserves some credit for this.
Well, Jesse, that's a point of contention. even on Jets Twitter.
Yeah? You don't like
yeah.
Maurice?
Yeah. Well, and like supposedly one of the things he said for game 2 was because Dubois and Ehlers were out game 1.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. And the Oilers still lost. And he didn't bring Ehlers back for game 2. And I think the quote was something along the lines of he didn't want to bring Dubois and Ehlers back at the same time, which is some galaxy brain shit I've never heard in my entire life.
Right. But haven't we always questioned Maurice's comments in the media? Yes. You know, like he's always saying something. And I don't know if it reflects what's happening in the locker room, if he always takes attention onto himself to help his boys, you know?
He does do that. And the second the Stanley Cup playoffs begin, you just change coach's job title to Big Bunch of Liars.